From a letter by VIKTOR Schauberger sent to Werner Zimmermann on the 4th of February 1936. Apart from the possibility of producing gasoline with water, which we will discuss in reference to the evaluation, I have come across something that might just change all of the economy and technology fundamentally. On the 22nd of this month, I finally acquired the patent rights for my air turbine. This vacuum turbine actually generates artificial thunderstorms, or highly electrical voltage, in the air through a capillary tube and a double twist tube with fitted electromagnets, which convert air substances into electrical energies that discharge into the sidewalls and are then derived downwards as heat via the diffusion path. By converting air substances into energy, an increasing physical vacuum is derived that is directed upwards, and, in addition, the successively downward sloping heat gradient lead to a strong upward airflow that, after a few minutes, culminates into a cyclone-like impact. By very simply lowering the upward air pressure successively, the counter-air current accelerates up to 200 km per hour. Conclusively, I am obtaining up to 10,000 horsepower of braking force on an inclined plane of the propellers. So this is the invention of an airplane that needs no fuel and flies silently, because the emerging physical vacuum on the inside of the plane, in front of the headboard, produces an airless void that pulls the plane itself forward. This suction can be increased at will by adjusting a lung or gill system on the inside of the machine, so that the motive power and speed of the apparatus can be willingly enhanced, because the recoiling air piston is actually the fuel that, when analyzed, initiates the physical countercurrent by which suction powers are generated. Now I have finally achieved what I've been striving for during the last 20 years: to devalue coal, oil and water as sources of energy. These resources are meant for the growing of nourishment, and increasingly making use of this organism called Earth was bound to lead to shortages, because our population is growing and people are taking more and more to serve their maintenance. The air substances that are rebuilt through my machines form extremely high-quality nitrogen, because there is no combustion process involved, so they are very profitable for all of our vegetation. With all of this, I contradict and undermine all of those technicians who employ natural resources that are meant for nourishment, and, by ways of combustion to achieve movement, hinder the development of nature up to a total standstill. Future operating materials will be nothing more than masses of air saturated with oxygen, which will lead to the decrease of the mechanical and physical air pressure on Earth, altitude air conditions in low-lying areas, and tropical weather conditions heralding a new ice age. My machines will completely alter the world's economy and render wars, for example, unnecessary, because inevitably there will be an excess of natural resources to be used at will, should we not continue to produce shortages as we are doing today, leading up to fundamental catastrophes. Charity and forbearance should become a commandment of reason, because increasing turnover converts into prosperity, and charity, which we all know cannot be achieved by threats of hell and Satan, will be the highest good to humanity. I am currently working feverishly on the completion of this extremely simple and inexpensive machine, and I do hope sincerely to be able to present it to you by the end of the month. And then it is your turn to preach about it, far and wide, to call upon reason and to transform the current maldevelopment of economy. We seem to have been brought together by fate. Once again, I assure you that I am of the highest reliability, because I am able to supply you with material that will make the world listen, and it will arouse in such a way that you will be heard everywhere once you start preaching. My duty is to research and to seek, to unveil. Yours is to speak and to clarify, so that your economics ring can be what it is meant to be, a forceful point of power that spreads in waves and reaches everyone still capable of being reasonable. Kind regards, VIKTOR Schauberger.
Research flatters.